Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another live stream. I'm your host, SSM Crypto, and I really hope you all had a great weekend, and I'm wishing you to have an even better week. So, there's a lot to talk about today, and I'm excited to share my thoughts on a lot of matter. Today, we're going to be talking about Bitcoin's rally and when are altcoins going to have their own time to shine in this sun and all of this excitement. So, how long would Bitcoin continue to rally? We're going to also look at investing early versus waiting for a confirmation because there are a lot of people right now they feel intense FOMO, with Bitcoin going all the way to 28K, and now people are excited. Some people are saying $1 million Bitcoin in 90 days, and some are like, nah, a million is not realistic, but it's 30K on the table. What about 40K? What about 50K? Should I get in now or should I wait for a confirmation? We're going to discuss about that as well, investing early versus waiting for a confirmation. And then there's the Arbitrum airdrop, ARB. Lots of exciting developments in the crypto space. People are, speculating what the price will be. Should you buy? Should you hold? How high is this going to go? And now Binance is going to list Arbitrum. So, what kind of opportunities are waiting for you? How high can it go? What strategies can you employ to maximize your profits with Arbitrum? We're going to discuss that as well as narratives that I'm looking at. So there's a lot of interesting things in the crypto space. There are an interesting narratives, decentralized storage, artificial intelligence, gaming, metaverse. What are the things in the crypto space that will do well in the coming bull run? Because that's part of investing early, finding these narratives and getting in early on them before everyone starts talking about them. And then we're also going to look at some altcoins and what are the altcoins that I'm going to be scooping up, and some altcoins that are worth accumulating for the next bull run. And then we are going to look at the viewers' comments, first come, first serve. So you guys be sure to interact with this live stream, post your questions. Once I'm done with following this presentation, once I'm done with talking about all of these things, I'm going to start addressing your comments. So while I'm talking, as you're having questions, be sure to put it, and I'll gladly go through them, if the time permits me. So Ru- Ruth Smitha, I really appreciate you. And, you're one of my biggest fans out there. Thank you so much love all the way here from Lagos, West Africa. And my friend Archie, I hope you're enjoying Dubai. I hope Dubai is treating you well. Personally, I prefer the West, but yeah, Dubai sounds like a great place too. So say hi to Seth for me as well. I really hope maybe you can join me here today. So yeah, how long will Bitcoin rally? I mean, it's obvious. Hold on, let me bring up the chart here. So, Bitcoin, is obvious that Bitcoin has made a major move up, and now what can we expect? Will Bitcoin continue to, follow this uptrend? And the thing I'll say to that is there's a lot of volatility, and while Bitcoin will always be a good investment, you have to plan your strategy very well. This period right here, when Bitcoin was 23K, is quite different. Getting in earlier in those periods is quite different from getting in at these prices. And what I will say about that is I think it's best to exercise a little bit of patience. That's what I would say to that. As much as I love Bitcoin, as much as I believe, Bitcoin is going to 100K, 150K, 200K, there are times where you have to invest smartly. So if you are in it for the long term, it's always good to buy some Bitcoin. It's never too late to start buying Bitcoin. However, I know there are short-term traders among you, and there are people who don't want to see their money going down because of this emotional or psychological need. So I would say, personally, I'm holding off a bit from putting so much into Bitcoin because there's a lot of volatility. We can see that volatility in the past 24 hours. Bitcoin is actually going up and down, and one of the reasons for that is the FOMC meeting where the American Reserve traders and stuff like that. As much as I love to see Bitcoin dissociate from macroeconomic situations, is still tied to it, and it's tied to the American financial system to an extent. So The FOMC meeting on Wednesday is going to play a huge impact on how Bitcoin will behave. And I think that's one of the reasons why we're experiencing this volatility. So right now might not be a good time to jump all in and start, making crazy financial decisions. Sometimes the best trades are no trades at all. I'll advise you to exercise patience. However, there's still a strategy. Take for example, you still believe, oh, you're scared, you're trying to control that emotion. Bitcoin can have the potential to go to 30K, it can have the potential to go to 35K in the short term. So if you don't want to miss out on that, then try to scale in just a little bit. Try to scale in just hold on, I'm experiencing some issues. Okay, try to scale in just a little bit. I mean, what that means is you don't put in 100% of your cash, but you put in a small amount that would make you feel good enough if Bitcoin continues to go up, so that you don't feel that FOMO anymore. So take for example, you have $1,000 to put into Bitcoin. You can decide, okay, let me just put in 200. That way, if the FOMC meeting isn't too favorable, you still have enough dry powder to keep going in. So that's one of the strategies that I will use for things like this. And how does this relate to altcoins? And that's very important, because Bitcoin has had quite a rally. Bitcoin has been going up, and normally you would expect that once Bitcoin goes to 20% increase or 30% increase, you expect altcoins to do like 2 to 3x. And yeah, there are altcoins that have done that, but it's not as crazy as one might have hoped or one might have assumed. So what do I think about this? Well, I think the altcoins are still going to have their time, because Bitcoin in particular has moved a little bit too quickly due to all of the banking fiascos that are happening right now. Something similar happened in 2017 or so with Cyprus, and the banks were collapsing in Cyprus. Bitcoin moved from about $20 to over $100, around $200. So that kind of price movement is specific to Bitcoin. That shows how Bitcoin is a very strong crypto, especially when it comes to the bigger financial space. Altcoins are not going to move as quickly as Bitcoin whenever there's a major financial event happening in the financial sector. So with all of the banking issues happening, the bankrupt runs in Europe, and all of this Credit Suisse and Switzerland Bank, Bitcoin would tend to act differently. However, I still believe altcoins, the wealth will still trickle down to altcoin, because we have people moving into the crypto space. So for me, that is going to happen very sooner or later, because as long as Bitcoin can stay above 25K, around this region, 24, 25K, I think altcoins will have their time to rally as well. So if that's the case, I still think altcoins will have their time. We just need Bitcoin to make its decision and settle to an extent. Oh, sorry, I wasn't sharing the tab. Here, I think this region here is okay for me, as long as Bitcoin is above 24 and between 24 and 25K, as long as it doesn't break down below that. Altcoins, in my opinion, will have their own time to rally. So that brings me to the next part of today's live stream, and that's investing early versus waiting for a confirmation. There are several people that feel like um you know it's best to get in now, and um once you get in early, you can make the highest amount of gains. And I think investing early and waiting for a confirmation, you need both. You don't need to just either invest early and decide to abandon a project once you miss out on it. Take for example a project I was talking about, a low cap gem. It was up 40%, and some people in the comments are like, this project is already up 40%, I'm late and I'm not investing in it anymore. Assuming you are late for a project that is good, and then missing out on the other higher amount of gains it would make, is a little bit silly, because that project went on to do a 4x, and I'm going to share the project with you later on in this live stream. So sometimes it's better to wait for a confirmation. You don't have to be the first person to invest in a project, because waiting for a confirmation might actually be better than investing early. Because once you wait for a confirmation, you know, oh, this project can't rock pull. Oh, people are actually interested in this project. I'm still early compared to so many other people that will discover this project and get into it. So that strategy, I think, is something you have to be able to understand. You don't necessarily have to be the first in a project. Sometimes once a project goes up by 50%, it's, even though it might retrace a little, you still have a lot of earning potential, and that's what you should look at. And that's why it's important to invest in the fundamentals and not worry too much about the short-term price action. Once you get a confirmation that the project is good, once you get a confirmation that the market condition is okay, then why not keep running up? Many people feel this FOMO and feel this fear of missing out because they believe, oh, this project has already gone 1x, this 2x, this project has already gone 3x, and then the project goes on to do another 5x. Even though you would have made higher gains, there's nothing wrong with waiting for a confirmation. It's actually a smarter move to sometimes to wait for a confirmation, and that's what I'm doing. That's my strategy with Bitcoin as it is. There's a lot of volatility with Bitcoin. There's a lot of uncertainty with the FOMC meeting. You can see that very clearly in the charts. So sometimes you might just decide, okay, before I jump into Bitcoin, let Bitcoin make a decision. If Bitcoin goes to 29K and everything is fine, everybody's happy, the crypto space is booming again, there's nothing wrong with entering Bitcoin at 30K if your target is 50K and the like. So sometimes waiting for a confirmation actually pays. But personally, I think we're not in a bull run yet. Even though Bitcoin might go to 30K, I believe we are still going to see a retrace. And then from that retrace, I think one more major leg down before the bull run can kick off. Because I've been saying this for a long time now, the crypto space they've gotten much more smarter. I was actually surprised people were, so scared of investing in Bitcoin sub 20K. And I was like, this is an opportunity. Imagine not investing in Bitcoin when it's less than 20K. And some people were still scared. So I think they've gotten smarter because once beaten, twice shy. This time is actually twice beaten. So you're supposed to be much more smarter than that. And I think the entire crypto space has gotten much more smarter regarding how valuable Bitcoin is to the entire community and the entire space. Bitcoin is more than just crypto; it's an entire new revolutionary financial system. And now we're moving on to another interesting part, something that I think a lot of people are excited about, and that's Arbitrum. The Arbitrum airdrop is going to be epic. It's going to be amazing. One of the reasons for that is, guys, Binance is already going to list it. So what do I think? What strategies can you employ to make the best out of Arbitrum? How high do I think it can go? Personally, I didn't participate in the airdrop qualification. I don't have the airdrop, but I have experience with how projects behave, especially once they get listed on Binance. And I'm going to share with you, some strategies and how you can stay safe. Because the first thing you should know is, guys, there are a lot of scams out there. Please stay safe. There are going to be many people offering you airdrops and telling you, yeah, this is the Arbitrum airdrop, or you can still get in early. You've missed it. If you didn't participate in the airdrop before, in the airdrop events to be qualified, move on. There's nothing wrong with that. There's still many opportunities out there. You don't need to risk your funds trying to get in to this airdrop. And that goes as well for the listing. I made an entire video regarding Binance projects listings and its potential. I'm going to put the links in the description so that you can watch it. You can There's a lot of opportunities, yes, but you don't need to FOMO. Those people who got early, they are getting in their reward for getting in early. There's still potential in Arbitrum, but it doesn't mean you have to make stupid decisions. It doesn't mean you have to rush in. There's many more opportunities. Don't lose your capital because you're trying to get in on something you've already missed. That boat has sailed. So for those of you who have gotten the Arbitrum airdrop, there's a lot of speculation about the prices, and I have zero idea about how high Arbitrum can go. But I will say this: if you are going to be buying it as it's getting listed on Binance, be very careful. I would not, like I said in this video right here, I would not recommend anyone to buy a project as it's getting listed on Binance. What I would do is wait for a retrace. However, I'm posting it in the link right now. However, it behaves after that, you can then decide, okay, 20% down, I can start to get into this project. But I think a bigger opportunity with the Arbitrum airdrop are the projects within the ecosystem. There's a lot more interest in it now, and there's a lot of projects that are there. Guys, pay close attention. I'm going to share with you a gem right now in a moment that can take advantage of Arbitrum airdrop, and nobody's talking about it yet. But one thing is certain: once the Arbitrum airdrop, you know, takes full effect, there's going to be a lot of liquidity pouring into that ecosystem. There's going to be a lot of interest. There's going to be a lot of money flowing into projects that use the Arbitrum ecosystem. And one of such projects is what is CheckDots. CheckDots is a project that the crypto gem hunters we've been talking about for a very long time now, and is at a ridiculously low price for what it has in store. To be honest, I think this project has a lot of potential, and they have this foresight, they have this proactive um behavior of being in the Arbitrum system. So there's a lot of liquidity that is going to flow into Arbitrum, and there's going to be a lot of interest in projects that are going to take advantage of that. One of such projects is CheckDots. CheckDots is an amazing project. It gives investors the confidence to get into the crypto space by insuring people. So the bridge to the Arbitrum network is amazing. I think it's going to be very bullish for this project. It's going to be bullish for it because there's going to be a lot of money once people get their airdrops and start looking for projects to invest into in this space. CheckDot is going to be one of them. Guys, look at it. It's less than $2 million in market cap. It has 77% in circulation, and it has a very strong use case. Solid project. If you check their Twitter as well, you can see, let me just put this here. Yeah, it's quite funny, right? The banks that keep saying, oh, crypto is rat poison and it's not safe. Banks are failing, but crypto is still here. Bitcoin is still standing. Our duty on CheckDot is to protect funds. Happy weekend, everyone. So a lot of crypto scams, but imagine being insured by a project. I think this is going to aid adoption. I think this is going to give a lot of confidence to people, for people to get into the space. And I really think this project has a lot of long-term potential. If you are a crypto project within the space, you would really want to give people the confidence of getting into your project. So you would want to let people know, oh, we are insured by CheckDots. Our smart contracts have been checked for hacks. There's no vulnerability. It's safe. And even if there's an issue, you can get refunded. So this is a project with a strong use case. Over 5,000 projects analyzed and over $73,000 secured. Check for smart contract vulnerabilities, platform hacks, Oracle malfunctions, and so on, etc., etc. But guys, the thing that is most impressive, what I really think you should pay attention to, the takeaway from my bringing up CheckDot today is this: the fourth largest blockchain by total volume locked is Arbitrum, and CheckDot is bridging to Arbitrum very soon. What that means is all of this money locked in Arbitrum ecosystem is going to flow into projects on that ecosystem, under that ecosystem. CheckDot is under that ecosystem, and it's not just there for the fun of it. It's a project that's been there for a while now. It's a solid project, strong use case with a lot of fresh money looking for where it will flow into. So pay attention to this. I believe there's a lot of opportunity. I think there's a lot of earning potential for CheckDot, and people aren't talking about it that much anymore. Sitting at less than $2 million market cap, I think there's a lot of opportunity here, guys. So yeah, and now that we've spoken about Arbitrum, remember to stay safe, avoid scams, avoid all of these fakers and low lives trying to get you to claim free airdrops. The next thing are narratives I'm looking at. And yeah, you know how powerful narratives are in the crypto space. That's where people are looking into, people are going to put their money into. There's a lot of excitement. What are some of the narratives I'm looking at? Well, personally, I think decentralized storage is going to be big. Privacy is going to be a very serious thing that even if you're not within the crypto space, you can appreciate. And blockchain tools, something projects that other people, other crypto projects within the space will find relevant. And that's the narrative I'm going to be discussing today. Interoperability. I think the crypto space is all about survival right now. There's going to be a lot of you know I think regulations are still coming, yeah. That aside, so the reason why I think interoperability is important is people show interest in so many blockchains. There are too many blockchains out there, guys. Too many layer ones, so much competition within the space. So projects that focus on interoperability will do well because they are taking advantage of the entire crypto space as the crypto space matures. So, what are the projects that take advantage of interoperability? There are two ways you can take advantage of interoperability. The first are layer zero projects. Now, you can achieve interoperability by having a network, and then imagine an estate, and then each blockchain can interact with each other on that network. That's why it's a layer zero. So an estate, a large land with different buildings, with each building representing a blockchain, and all of the buildings are connected by roads. That's layer zero. And I'm going to cover, projects like that. The second way you can achieve interoperability is by being cross-chain, by being blockchain agnostic. These are projects that will work on multiple blockchains and will help people achieve their goals, achieve what they set out to do, irrespective of your blockchain or taking advantage of more than one blockchain. So those are the two ways you can achieve interoperability. And now we're going to start looking at such projects. The first project, I've not spoken about this project much, but I was a big fan of it for a very long time, and that's Polkadot. Polkadot is a layer zero blockchain, and I love it because I think interoperability is going to be big in the crypto space. There's so much competition, so many layer ones, all biting at each other's throat. Polkadot works with relay chains and parachains. Let all of the blockchains, do their own thing. Let them come together let them do their thing on the parachain, and then they come together on a relay chain and achieve consensus using its proof of stake consensus mechanism. So a hub and different blockchains acting on it. I think Polkadot is one of the best high caps out there. If we're looking for interoperability, is one of the best, with one of the smartest minds behind it. I mean, Gavin Hood, one of the co-founders of Ethereum and one of the pioneers of the EVM system that we know today, is the one behind Polkadot. So I think Polkadot has a lot of potential. Being layer zero is actually undervalued. I think what can I blame on that? Maybe the marketing, is not just as exciting. Setting up the wallet is not actually the easiest thing on Polkadot, but regardless of that, this is a project that many developers will find useful. Many blockchains can take advantage of many blockchains. So I think Polkadot has a lot of potential. A layer zero meta protocol. Another one that is very similar to Polkadot, with actually, in my opinion, much more earning potential than Polkadot, is Cosmos Atom. Because the issue I raised with Polkadot was is friendly nature. It's not really easy, getting started on Polkadot, but it's quite much more easy getting started with the Cosmos ecosystem. With they've got this wallet. Is it Kepler? No, I'm sorry. I'm going to confirm that and get back to you. But I think Cosmos is another amazing layer zero project with a lot of potential, and a project that the Coin Bureau is very interested in. That guy from Coin Bureau believes is going to be one of the top performers in the next bull run. This is also a project very similar to Polkadot. The hub, having a platform and letting different layer ones interact with one another. Cosmos is definitely another interoperability project you should pay attention to. And now the next project on my list approaches interoperability from a very unique perspective, not having a layer zero, not having a network with layer ones interacting with one another. The next project is Quant. Yeah, Quant. I'm sure you guys might be tired of hearing me talk about Quant, but I love the way Quant achieves interoperability. Instead of a layer zero blockchain, they use an operating system. It's the first of its kind. So it's not as complicated. They have this multi-chain decentralized application, and it's quite easier, is easy to get started with it. But all of that, you know, the narrative is strong, the interoperability narrative is strong, but one of the best things about Quant is regulatory compliance, and it means financial institutions can get started with it. Banks can use it. Financial systems outside crypto will use it. So its interoperability doesn't just exist within crypto, but outside crypto. We can onboard Quant can onboard institutions and businesses outside crypto very easily, and I think that's a plus in my book. In addition to this, Quant is super deflationary. Over 81% already out there in circulation. Out of its 14 million tokens, it's got 12 million in circulation already. So imagine owning a piece of such a deflationary token. I think Quant has a lot of potential. I think Quant can go much more higher than this, up to $1,000 very easily. But if we're in the bull run, I think Quant can easily achieve $5,000 to $10,000. So yeah, try it as much as possible to get 10 coins, get 50 coins. It's going to be much more harder in the future once coins gets to 500 or $1,000. So yeah, Quant, another great project that achieves interoperability. And difference from layer ones. The next set of projects that I'm going to talk about in this narrative of interoperability is going to be achieving it not with a layer zero protocol, but as having an ecosystem that is blockchain agnostic, something that the Binance Smart chain can take advantage of, the Ethereum Smart Chain can take advantage of, and Polygon, Cardano, and so on. Interoperability being achieved by being blockchain agnostic is another thing, and I think injective protocol is one of them. So just going to pause here for a bit. I've been talking for quite a while now. Imagine talking for this long and you haven't subscribed yet. Guys, please subscribe. It really helps me out a lot, and I really appreciate you. Okay, moving on. Injective protocol is a great project. I really think is going to do well because it's not just interoperability, it's a blockchain tool, and that's something that I believe is something that is very important within the crypto space, where we need projects to be easy to deploy, easy to get tested. That way, a lot of different people can get into the space and build their own dApps. dApps are what move the crypto space forward. Whatever narrative is there, whatever issues we need to solve, we can solve it by building a decentralized application. So a project that simplifies this is going to do well. That's on its own, aiding adoption, helping build the space, makes Injective a great project, and is blockchain agnostic, meaning it's a useful tool to different projects in different blockchains. Injective is an open, interoperable layer one blockchain, so not a layer zero like Polkadot or Cosmos. Is an interoperable layer one blockchain for building powerful DeFi applications, and I think that's an amazing thing. So, moving on, another project that achieves interoperability, but not with layer zeros, and is moving quite well recently is the XP network. Yeah, XP network is up. XP network is a project I've been talking about, for a very long time. And if you're, following me without even being on the Patreon, you would have been on this in this project way over here, and that's actually quite impressive, especially considering we're in the bear market. Guys, XP network is amazing because it adds so much utility to the NFT sector within the crypto space. NFTs are not just going to be monkey picks with XP Network. It's a project that many people think is just another NFT project, but the XP Network is a powerful bridge. What I like the most about it is This is a project that has so many use cases. If you check their Twitter, hold on, let me bring it up. Check their Twitter, and you'll see this team. They're not taking a break. They just keep partnering. Another blockchain here, as you can see, Caduceus. A huge thank you to SP Network for joining us. Okay, let's look at the weekly summary here. A new utility user. This is an NFT project. New utility user, another NFT project. New utility user, an NFT project. New blockchain, scale, AMA section, Blur, Expression. There's just so much activity with this project. And guys, if you're going to invest in a project, this is what you should look at. A project that keeps bringing out updates, keeps announcing partnership, and isn't constantly tweeting about price. If a project is only talking about, hey, look, we've made 5x, we've made 3x, then they're just trying to get more money into the space without putting so much usefulness, without putting so much utility. Pay close attention to projects that are developing, projects that are building, because these are the projects that will do well irrespective of how the market is behaving. They're not going to rock, they're not going to abandon the project, they're going to keep building, and they'll be here in the next bull run, and it's going to be glorious once the bull run starts. And XP Network is a perfect example of that. Constant partnerships, constant utilities, adding so much usefulness to the NFT space. I believe this project has a lot of projects. It's at a market cap less than $3 million. Yeah, less than $3 million, and not up to 3x up from its all-time low. Yeah, super early. I mean, if you want to get in early on the project, XP Network is one of them. If we all know the NFT craze of 2021, Justin Bieber, Steve Aoki, different brands, they were all trying to use NFTs. A project like this, NFTs are very tightly knit to the crypto space. XP Network is going to be useful to every single one of them, and it's interoperable. That means it's blockchain agnostic. It doesn't matter what chain you are on. Projects like D Gods, they were moving over from Polygon to from Solana to Polygon, and these are the kind of use cases that you can have with the XP Network without wasting too much time on it, without shilling it too much. We're going to move on to the next project, and that's another project that achieves interoperability in its own unique way, Fabwelt. So this is what I'm talking about when it comes to interoperability, and Fabwelt is having quite a nice run up today. This is another project that I called out to my patrons way over here. You can go check out my community post. So yeah, an easy 4x for all of my patrons, guys. If you are interested in making such games, because I always put my nose to the grindstone to find it, consider checking out my Patreon. It supports me and is more than just buy alerts. I can, you know, give you some strategies, entry and exit strategies, and so much more. But Patreon aside, Fabot is an amazing project. There's so many gaming projects, so many meme coins within the crypto space, and they are not doing half of what Fabot is doing. So this is another project that achieves interoperability in its own way, and that's through cross-chain gaming. And the funniest thing is, Fabot recently used XP Network to achieve this cross-chain gaming I was talking about. So this is what I'm referring to when XP Network is such an important blockchain tool. Fabelt was able to allow gamers to game on the Polygon network as well as the Binance network using XP network for their cross-chain gaming. So interoperability can be achieved in this way as well, being agnostic, not necessarily agnostic, but being useful on more than one blockchain. Fabelt is a great gaming project. They've got a beautiful game that is working, especially for um crypto standards. I know the graphics are not up to Fortnite or Call of Duty. A lot of games within the crypto space tend to avoid first person shooters because of the Web 2 standard, and so they decide to focus on just simple fun games. But for being a blockchain game, I think Fabot is pretty decent. Good looking graphics and a fun and addictive gameplay. It has a great ecosystem, high end games, cross chain gaming, and tournament modes. Another thing I love about the project is the variety. You might not be a fan of Arsenal. You don't fancy playing first person shooter. Then, how about sports games then? Farbelt also has that in development and it will be releasing soon. That's Fanworld. So variety is quite important. Different sports, whether it's cricket, whether it's football. For my American friends, football is soccer. Whether it's basketball, they can just be so much choices for people to get started, and there's also H2O. So yeah, one of the best gaming projects out there in my opinion, highly undervalued, less than 2 million. Guys, I remember in 2021, in the bull run, rubbish projects were reaching $500 million. You are getting in super early. That's the point I'm trying to make. Yeah, so Farbelt is definitely a low cap gem that you should be paying close attention to. And hold on, let me bring this up. And yeah, there's another project with so much. I agree. Yeah, Forbes is going to make millionaires. I have no doubt in my mind. It can easily make 100x. So another project, very interesting, strong utility, a strong use case, like XP Network, constant partnerships with different crypto projects that I discovered that I really think you guys should pay attention to is going to be announced on my Patreon for my next buy alert. So if you don't want to miss this project, this week I'm sending out a buy alert. Yeah, consider checking out my Patreon. The links are in the description. I think let me just quickly put it up here. Yeah, consider checking out my Patreon, guys. I'm going to send out a buy alert very soon, and I think the project is going to do very well. So message me if you're interested in finding out more about the project, in getting in early before I put up a YouTube video about it, and stuff like that. And that's it for this live stream. I'm going to start taking comments now. If there's any question that you had while I was in the live stream, I'm going to go through it now. And if you have any question, maybe before I get to your point, feel free to put it down. So, Rumista, I really appreciate you for coming. It's always a pleasure. Thank you so much, Crypto Archie. Guys, Crypto Archie has moved to Dubai. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Personally, I prefer to move to the West, but yeah, it's good. It's good that to have you there. This is something you've been working on, and congrats, my brother. I'm happy for you. Guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Good morning, Crypto Caleb. It's always a pleasure to see you. Yeah, and yeah, I'm glad you could join me. I discussed a lot of narratives. The narrative I'm most bullish on for the cycle, the most bullish narratives, in my opinion. I don't know whether you call this a narrative, but um, pay attention to projects that are going to be regulatory compliant. It's not going to be native per se because it's going to be in different genres, but I think people are going to rush into projects once they find out, oh, the feds can't find so much issue with it. And one of the projects that will do very well in that regards is LCX. Yeah, LCX, guys, pay close attention to this. This is going to be a top performer in the next bull run, in my opinion. Let me bring this up real quick. The reason why I like LCX is they have good partnerships as well. They are working with HBAR, and it's an entire ecosystem. It's not just you know an exchange. They have an aggregator, they have a launch pad helping, and the launch pad helps you to get into regulatory compliance cryptos as well. So it's not just doing one thing, it's doing a lot, and it's all fueled by the LCX token. This is a project that is a low market cap, is $67 million. So think about it like the Binance of ISO compliance crypto projects. I think LCX is going to do very well. I'm doing fine, Crypto Archie. Thanks. Hello, my brother from the Gambia. Ba, thank you so much for joining us today. What about Marlin? Okay, I've never heard about Marlin. Let me quickly bring that up and see what I think about it. Marlin Pond. I'm not sure if this is the projects you're talking about. Oh, the plus lights. That's nice. I'm not sure if this is the projects you're talking about, but I'm going to look into. it right now. Marlin is an open protocol that provides high performance DeFi Web3 metanodes. Okay, okay, my friend. I'm going to look into Marlin. It's quite interesting to be honest. It's verified by CoinMarketCap. It's 1% in circulation and a low cap. So whether it's to do well, whether it's going to be adopted, I'll get back to you in another video or in my Telegram chat. So yeah, AI, yeah, I think AI is still going to be a bullish narrative. I'm sorry for all the background noise. AI is still going to be a bullish narrative, in my opinion. Guys, there's there's still a lot of interest in AI. Elon Musk is tweeting singularity and a lot of awesome things. And not just Elon Musk, look at the practical uses of AI. AI is still used. Recently, I saw a video of AI being utilized by game developers to help simplify the game creation process. So don't dismiss AI narrative just yet. I believe AI is going to do very well. And speaking of which, what are some AI projects I'm looking at? What are some low cap AI? You know, we've got Viot. Viot is still going to do very well. It's not You don't have to jump into every new project. We've got AI rights. That's another interesting project that I think will do well, irrespective of its not so good tokenomics. Everything is quickly getting digitized, and a project that utilizes AI to quickly give creators their rights and solve conflicts. I think that's actually quite unique. And there are several other low cap AI gems that I'm looking at. I've made a video on that. Let me see. Yeah, I made this video, guys. You can check it out. I covered 5 cheap AI gems that will do very well. There's artificial liquid intelligence, AI rights, Viot, and so on. So be sure to check out this video, guys. And while you're at it, be sure to subscribe to my channel as well. I would really appreciate that. SP Network, yeah, very bullish on that. Hello, Shri. So nice to have you here. How high do I think SDAO can go? Good question. I think SDAO is one of the better AI projects. And there's another interesting one that I discovered recently that is like SDAO. And I believe you guys should pay close attention to it. I'm going to bring it up once I'm done looking at SDAO. So I think SDAO can go much more higher than this. At least you know, conservatively speaking, I think it can easily do a 5x, hundreds of millions. Why? There are two reasons why I really like SDAO. It's is a useful tool for people within the crypto space. That's one of the first reasons. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought the chat was up. Let me bring it up. SDAO, SDAO. Hold on, sorry. I really thought the chat was up. I'm sorry about that. Okay, yeah. Okay, so there are two reasons why I really believe SDAO is going to do well. And one of the first reason is the team behind it. SDAO is a subsidiary of SingularityNet. And, you know, if you were earlier in this video, I was talking about people who were always, I always complain about getting in early and missing out. For many who missed out on SDAO, on SingularityNet, SDAO is the next best thing. And it's not just a governance token. Don't make the mistake I did dismissing SDAO as just a governance token. SDAO is much more than that. Imagine DeFi tools in the crypto space using artificial intelligence, and the team pioneering that is SingularityNet, Dr. Benji, and Hansen Robotics. So the best team building DeFi tools for crypto traders using artificial intelligence. Yeah, it's going to do very well. So I think SDAO has a lot of potential, has much more room for growth. I believe it can easily go to hundreds of millions in market cap. So do the math. It's on $40 million market cap right now. Wealth is an amazing project, my friend. Yeah, I think it has a lot of room for explosive growth. I mean, look at it. They've got hackathons, they've got contests. The thing about I like about Fabwelt is the enthusiasm of Web 2. It brings it over to the blockchain. That's passion of Web 2 gaming. The team is dedicated and bringing it out here. Highly transparent, hardworking, with over 40%, 45% in circulation. One of the best gaming projects out there, in my opinion. highly undervalued. I think Fabot has a lot more room for growth. Cross-chain gaming, you can either game on BSC or Polygon, and you can check earlier for my on my videos the importance of interoperability. There's variety as well. If you're not a fan of Arsenal, if you're not a fan of first-person shooter, you can come over to FanWorlds where there are different sporting games, or you can wait for their racing game H2O where you can play different form of game. So smart team, dedicated, hardworking, constantly putting out updates, not just tweeting about price action. These are the kind of things that you like to see in a project, and these are the kind of projects that will do very well in the long term. What do I think about Hello? Is it overvalued or undervalued? I'm going to check into that. To be honest, I've not really looked too much into Hello, so I'll get back to you. Mode, you've mentioned two projects now, Marlin and Hello. I'm going to look into it, Rusmita, and this is going to be the last comment for today. Which do I think will do more exits, CDFI or SDAO? Guys, I'm a big fan of CDFI. I've made several videos about it. However, I think CDFI is a little bit limited in that it doesn't have as much tools as SDAO. It's just a simple launchpad, and the requirement is actually quite high. You need 1,000 certified tokens. So while I think it's always amazing to get in early on crypto projects, especially the ones that have been vetted, there's always hype around it. I think it's going to be limited. There will be a point where it's not going to be easy for retail investors to find Solidify useful because it will have a very high barrier to entry. And that's not going to be the case with SDAO. So I think SDAO has more room for growth and has more potential. So yeah, that's it. I've been live for over 45 minutes now. I really appreciate every single one of you for joining me here today. Thank you so much. If you are new here, I'm SSM on my way to become the number one African crypto YouTuber. So join me on this journey, support me, be sure to subscribe, like, hit that notification bell. I cover a lot of crypto projects, not just interoperability, gaming, smart contract projects, so much more, metaverse, AI, and the likes. So yeah, if you're interested in that, be sure to subscribe. And if you want to get into my thoughts, how I navigate the crypto space, consider supporting me either on my Patreon or just donating. I put links and addresses down in the description. I really appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much. I love you. Stay safe and take care. Bye bye.